What's going on, Chum Guzzlers? Welcome back to Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Captain Steve, and this week we're going to do something a little bit different. So as you all know, we are celebrating 50 years of Jaws this year. So every month I've been doing like 1 or 2 episodes to kind of commemorate the movie and all of that. Because I mean, without Jaws, I probably wouldn't really have a podcast. But even more so, there's a lot of us that love this movie. But just like anything else, there's a lot of people that also really hate this movie. So I thought it might be interesting to take a look at some reviews on Letterboxd, IMDb, and maybe elsewhere, and see what people are saying who really don't like this movie, who don't share the same fond memories that I and many others do. So I thought it might be interesting and kind of make fun of and yell and get angry at some of the negative reviews for Jaws and see exactly why people hate it or maybe just didn't connect with it like a lot of us did. So there's nothing else left to do, but let's dive in. So let's start off with some Letterboxd reviews. First up, we have one from June 18th, 2025 from user Shelby. I can't believe people actually give a fuck about this movie. Also, Brody and Hopper, supposed to be Hooper, had a little bit of a gay thing going on. And that has 1 like. Is the gay thing a problem for you? This reminds me of recently I went to see, and spoiler alerts for Clown in a Cornfield, I guess a little bit. There's a gay kiss in that movie. I know, it's 2025 and we have gay kisses in movies now. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But when I was in the theater, there were 2 dudes there who were talking the entire fucking movie. And then this gay kiss happened and one of them was, like, audibly upset. He's like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm just like, really? I'm like, this, oh my god. I'm sorry, this shit fucking frustrates me, though. But yeah, I would say the gay thing, not really much of a problem. And also, I don't really see that in the movie, so I don't know where you're getting that from. Maybe you're projecting, Shelby? Well, I don't know. Next, we have one from user Chris. Y'all could have just stayed out of the water and left the shark alone. But no, white men have to colonize everything. These people were just fucking swimming and going on boats. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? I'm like, yeah, I know white people be colonizing everything, but like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm very confused by that review. I don't get it. Next, we have a review from JSN123. My life has gone so downhill since I saw this movie. Yeah, that just might be your poor life decisions, maybe. Probably, I'm guessing. I don't really know what Jaws has to do with your life going downhill, but maybe get some help or something. I don't know. I don't really know what you're complaining about there. Next up, we have a review from user Rory. Vastly inferior to Big Shark. Now, I'm assuming when they say Big Shark, they're referring to the Tommy Wiseau movie, Big Shark, which I have not seen yet. I have my doubts about this review, but again, I haven't seen Big Shark, so maybe they're right. Maybe Jaws is inferior to Tommy Wiseau's Big Shark. But I mean, maybe we'll never know. I think we know. Next, we have a review from LMLJ Darko, I'm assuming. I didn't hate the movie, I just skipped all the shark scenes because I'm scared of sharks, guys. ... My true enemy. So, yours isn't so much a review on the movie, it's more the fact that you just don't like sharks, so you penalize the movie for that. The shark's right on the front cover. If you don't like sharks, maybe don't watch the shark movie and then rate it poorly for no reason that I can see. But that's just me. Next, we have a review from James Hawking. An ancient, plotless relic which is severely dated and lacks any entertainment value. A Minecraft movie has more plot than this film. Big Shark kill people. Me kill Big Shark. 1 star. Yeah, I've seen the Minecraft movie. I would kind of disagree with this fucking review because a Minecraft movie makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. And you're saying that Jaws makes even less sense. Like, these fucking Gen Alphas, man, I swear to fucking God. Like, unless there's, like, pretty colors and lights flashing on the screen every 2 seconds, they're like, oh, I'm so bored. There's, like, talking and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, it's called moving the fucking plot forward, you dipshit. Oh my God, I'm getting worked up already. We're still pretty early in this episode. Jesus Christ. Next, we have a review from Violetta. It's okay. I don't like this idea of creating such an evil and negative image of sharks. Because of these types of movies, they've been misunderstood. I've grown to love them, even if they can be dangerous. Everything can. Okay, now this one I will actually agree with. I don't think you should rate the movie 1 star because like you should just be rating the movie, not necessarily like the impact or any of the behind the scenes stuff as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, this is true. I mean, when Jaws came out, it was responsible for a lot of people kind of losing their shit and killing sharks and whatnot. And even Peter Benchley himself, who wrote the book, spent a lot of his life trying to, advocate for the preservation and conservation of sharks and whatnot. So, I mean, I will say that's a pretty fair review for the most part. I don't agree with giving it 1 star just because of that happening. I mean, you should be rating the movie based on the actual movie itself, but I understand where they're coming from and I respect it. I can at least respect that 1 star review. I get it. Next up, we have a review from Kyle Kapoor. So beyond overrated, it's insane. Yes, I understand that this is an old movie, but some of the scenes are insufferable to watch because of how unrealistic it all looks. There are much better shark movies out there. But yet you didn't name any other shark movies. You just made a claim that there were better shark movies out there and then didn't name any. So which ones are better? I'm curious. If you think that there's a shark movie that's better than Jaws, leave it down in the comments below because I'm curious. Especially if you're listening, Kyle. And this review from Evan, yeah, I just gave Jaws a 1 out of 5. It's slow, uneventful, and overall a poorly made movie, in my opinion. Well, you're allowed to be wrong in your opinion, Kyle, but, or Evan. Sorry, I just seems like such a Kyle thing to say. But how can you say that this is a poorly made movie? I mean, the amount of effort that one went into making this movie, the cinematography is great. The shark, like in 1975, like the look of this shark and having it like being filmed in the actual ocean, like that's an achievement. Like I don't know how you can say that that's poorly made. I know that's your opinion, but you're also kind of wrong about it, in my opinion, which I'm allowed to have. So fuck you. And then we have a 1 star review from someone named Reegs7. I hate the ocean. That's the only reason 1 star. Movie is great though. So you're rating the movie based on the fact that you don't like the ocean, but you say the movie's great. What are people even doing on the internet? I'm genuinely fucking confused. What is that? I don't like the ocean, so this movie gets 1 star. That's like watching John Wick and then being like, I'm against gun violence, so I'm going to rate this movie 1. Movie was kick-ass, though. Like, do you see the fucking disconnect there? That makes no goddamn sense. Oh my god, these people, they're going to be the fucking death of me, I swear to god. Alright, I think that's enough from Letterboxd for now, so let's go over to IMDb and see what people are saying over there. So first we have a review from Harry Plinkett 14. This is just a cheap popcorn movie about a shark that eats people. Nothing about it is spectacular. It is not very scary either, and the ending is rather silly. I absolutely loathe Spielberg and everything he ever made. So, I mean, you're mostly just not a fan of Spielberg then, right? Like, you're not so much just not a fan of Jaws, you just don't like Spielberg's work, which, I mean, fair enough, but, like, I don't know, it seems like a bit of a disjointed review in my opinion. Next, we have a review from Strabo1021. I've seen some terrible movies in my time, but this one really takes the prize as one of the worst. Bro, you have not watched enough movies if you think that Jaws is one of the worst movies you've ever seen. I guarantee you I can show you 5 other movies that would make you just eat this review and shove it up your ass. But let's continue. As for suspense, I'm more scared by Monsters, Inc. Okay, well, so you're 5. Gotcha. And the shark is so fake and unrealistic, it's pathetic. At least Deep Blue Sea had sharks that looked real and could actually install some element of fear in the viewer. Yeah, because it came like 20 years later. It's the advancement of technology, whatever. And the actors looked as embarrassed starring in the film as I watching it. I fucking guarantee you nobody that was in Jaws is like, oh, I'm embarrassed to be in that movie. No, not a single fucking person. When is it? This is from 2002. We're all celebrating, like, Jaws 50 years later, and this person's like, yeah, I bet they all fucking hated it. Yeah, I bet they hated all those fucking royalty checks coming in. Yeah, I bet they were just, like, really upset about that. Strabo. This one from Maurice of Mandorg, Maurice. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. Anyways, 1 star instead of 0 for Naked Girl at the beginning is the title of this review, so you know it's going to be a fucking winner. Story: blonde, tanned, fit, big boobed naked girl goes for a swim, gets eaten by shark. Boy goes for a swim, gets eaten. We can't have sharks eating away our children and hot girls. When there's something strange in our neighborhood, who are we gonna call? A cop, a marine biologist, and a fisherman. Wait, what? The 3 dummies get on a crappy wooden boat to hunt a giant carnivorous shark. Oh, did I mention they were dummies already? Yes, you did. Thank you. They keep shooting harpoons attached to a rope attached to a plastic container filled with air so the shark will drag it and become slower and tired. Thank you for describing the plot of this movie so far, but you're doing a great job. After they believe the shark to be tired, they tie ropes to the boat. The shark drags the boat backwards and makes some water go inside the boat into the engine room, which damages the engine. One of the dummies goes in a shark cage in the water to try and fight the shark or something. The shark sneak attacks the cage, making the dummy drop his weapon. Then he opens the cage, and the dummy is able to flee and hide until the end of the movie. The shark eats the fisherman. There's only 1 dummy left in the boat, and it's sinking. He makes the shark eat a tank filled with something explosive, then shoots at the explosive thing, and the shark goes kablooey. The end. Moral of the story: just because the opening scene of a movie has a hot naked blonde woman doesn't mean a movie will be good. I agree with you there, I guess. If you're reading this before seeing the movie, I just saved you 2 hours of your precious life. No need to repay me, but please pay it forward. Maurice, you sound like a real fucking treat to be around. Good God. Oh my God, people. You're making me choke up because I'm pissed off. Next review is from Dantastic from September 14th, 2006. The title of the review: awful. I'm not saying the title is awful. That's just what he named this review. It's just awful. The second time I've watched this, I seriously had doubts in Steven Spielberg's skill as a director, but then again, it was made in 1975. The music was unbearably boring to sit through. Directors must realize that blood and gore in a film isn't what makes this type of film good. There's not a whole lot of blood and gore in Jaws. Were you watching the right fucking movie? What are you talking about? In 1975, my opinion will have been a lot different, but it's 2006 now, and it bores me to watch this film. The only part of this film that was at least mildly frightening was not frightening at all. It gave you a shock, nothing more. But doesn't go on to describe what he's talking about. He's like, yeah, there was one part that was shocking, but I'll never tell. Fucking Christ. People who love this film have the right to their opinions, as do you. I'm still going to make fun of you, but you have the right to your opinion. But in my opinion, this is one of the worst of Spielberg. What was that movie he did? AI? Have you seen that? Because that was pretty fucking awful. But anyways, go watch War of the Worlds or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. These are true greatest Spielberg films. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, yes. War of the Worlds. Have you listened to Dakota Fanning fucking scream in that movie and you're just telling me that's better than Jaws? Good God, people. Next, we have a review from Movie Freak 999 from August 26, 2010. Title: Something to Forget. Just a waste of time. Very dated and bad effects. How can you be positive about a film like this? ... Question mark. Even in the time of release, I never understood how people can be thrilled about it. To resume, I can only say that this is one of the worst films ever made. Nevertheless, the key roles have decent acting for that time. The shark is a monster that are visible by ... miles that is made of bad plastic. No, anyway. Also, the reactions and bites are poor and clumsy. The soundtrack is monotone but very recognizable, and that is the strongest point of the whole film. For me, it is a complete riddle why these films is in the top 250. That sounds like a fucking 5-year-old put together that review. Like, oh my God. I don't like it, so everyone has to hate it. Like, what are you fucking on, people? My God. And I guess grammar is not their forte. Listen, I'm not a grammatical fucking queen, but like, good God, man. Like, that was rough to get through. I had a hard time with that. Next, we have one from Obsessed George. Jaws? More like boars. Oh, okay. After all the hype about this film, I decided to finally watch it, and boy was I disappointed. Watched only half an hour and then started fast-forwarding because of the bad dialogue. Everyone's shouting all the time. Everyone's shouting all the time? What are you on? The acting was bad and the story was boring and dumb. The only reason this film has an 8 out of 10 is because it was directed by Spielberg. Yep, and 50 years going, that's the only reason people like this. It's not like he's done like 50 other fucking movies since then. They're like, oh, it's just because it's Spielberg. Oh my god. If you're gonna have an opinion about this, like, give me some facts behind that. Like, why are people obsessed with Jaws just because it's Spielberg? I mean, he's done a shit ton of other movies since then. I mean, like, when a director does a good movie and then he does something better, people tend to forget about the other movie. So if you think he's done something better, then why not list that? Why not say that? Like, what? Oh my god. It just, if you're gonna write a fucking review on the internet, like, don't just say, like, I think it's stupid. Give a fucking reason. Like, if you're gonna go on a big rant like that and, like, not be funny about it, like, if you're not just being ironic or something, give some fucking substance to it. Like, give us, like, reasons why. I've read, like, a couple of 1-stars here that I'm like, okay, I get that. It's not your thing. It's not going to be everybody's thing. But to just, like, say, like, oh, it was boring and dumb, and it's just like, because it's not for you. So, like, you're not giving any real reasons. This is just, like, and I get it, like, film is such a very subjective thing. Like, there's movies that people praise all the time that I'm just like, I'm not a fucking fan of. Like Citizen Kane. Not a fucking fan of the movie. I understand why people liked it, especially in the time. It was quite an achievement in filmmaking and all of that. It's not my thing, but I'm not going to go online and, like, fucking rant about it. But here I am ranting about how great Jaws is. So I mean, I'm an asshole on the other end of the spectrum. All right, I get it. Next, we have one from Cody G. Dietrich. Title: That Was Boring. From April 8th, 2021. Ever since I first heard about it, I wondered how you make a suspenseful and terrifying movie with a great plot line about a shark. 46 years after it came out, now I see you don't. You make a boring, drawn-out film about a police chief in a coast town that had 2 shark attacks. For most of the movie, you don't even see anything of the shark, not even a trail of ripples in the water. When you do see the shark, it looks like a giant rubber puppet. I was so close to going to sleep in the middle of it, but didn't figuring I would never go back and finish it if I did. When it ended, I was thinking, I really hope I get to go to the beach this summer. That looked nice. In the end, it's a 2-hour movie, and there's maybe half an hour where it seems like the shark is an immediate threat. See, I would disagree with that, because you could say almost the same thing about Alien in a lot of respects, because for most of the movie, you don't even really see the creature that much. Like, go back and watch it. You don't see it that much until it's, like, more towards the end of the movie, and this movie's not doing anything that different. And a ton of Roger Corman movies that were coming out at the time, you don't see the creatures until the end of those fucking movies, and yet people, like, jerk off on those movies all the time. So I don't understand, like, why there's so much hate for, like, oh, you don't see it for so long. And I'm like, that was part of the suspense of it. Not their original intention, but that's certainly something that works for the movie. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. Again, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But, like, I think people need to kind of put themselves in a mindset of, like, 1975 and, like, how big of a deal this actually was. And again, it still might not be your thing, and you can still give it a 1-star review, but at least have something to kind of, like, back it up with, you know? Like, have some thought put into it. Next, we have one from Jesse Gehrig. Why I Hate Jaws, by me, Jesse Gehrig. Jaws sucks. Please allow me to upset you over what I feel is a very average creature feature. Like, there were only, like, 3 movies out during the summer of 75, so choices were limited. Like, if you only had 3 choices of ice cream and the choices were tomato or tuna tartare or cilantro, tomato would be very popular as an ice cream flavor. Why wouldn't someone go with cilantro? Why would you tomato would... Oh my god, this is dumb. This is already dumb, and I'm already mad. Anyways, tomato would be very popular as an ice cream flavor. That analogy is all up in the movie Jaws. Wrist deep, elbow deep. What were you fucking on when you wrote this review? And this is from March 11th, 2025. Sweet Jesus. And, like, there's a whole industry that kisses this movie's ass on a daily basis, like some crummy religion's unending proselytizing. Oh, my God. Some guy at a baseball game with a rainbow-colored wig and sign saying Jaws 316. This is one of the most disjointed reviews I've ever fucking read. You're going on about religious nonsense, and I'm like, okay, if you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie, but you've also not really stated anything that why you don't like it. Like, you're just ranting on about nothing. And I feel like you came on here to rant about like other stuff that you've got going on in your fucking head and not necessarily this movie. So yeah, I don't take much merit in that review, Jesse. All right, let's take a look at some of the 1 stars over on Rotten Tomatoes. So the first one we have is from Stacy C. Overrated male fantasy film. Film clearly portrays that humans are the true monsters, but not self-aware enough to even realize it. Robert Shaw gives a standout performance. Richard Dreyfuss is so annoying, I was hoping he'd be drowned or eaten. I mean, okay, Stacy, it sounds like you're upset at men for some reason. Well, okay, we all know why you're probably upset at men, because men kind of suck. But I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that review. I fucking got nothing for it. I'm not going to deny that, like, yeah, it's not self-aware enough to realize that, you know, humans are the true monsters. I get that. But if you want to see that done, watch Dangerous Animals. Go check out that movie. That might give you that urge for, you know, seeing that sharks aren't the true animals, or the true danger, I should say. Next, we have one from Dominic K. Worst movie of all time, 1/2 star. But no reasoning as to why. Thanks, Dominic. That's super helpful. Next, we have one from Babarizam D. I have never liked Jaws, even after watching so many times. It's one hell of a stupid movie, or perhaps I think of it with different eyes. If you hate it so much, why have you watched it so many times? I'm confused by that. I've watched this movie 1,000,000,000 times and I still fucking hate it. Stop watching it. Don't watch it. I don't like the Barbie movie that much, so I spend my time not watching it. There's a lot of movies I hate, and instead of watching them, what I do is I don't watch them. It's pretty easy. I'm doing it right now. Look at me not watching all the movies I hate. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so now we have like a bunch here in a row on Rotten Tomatoes. The first one from Hillary Benedetta. Oh, it still can't scare me. Okay, it doesn't really scare me either, but okay. Sandra C said it didn't age very well. Okay. Sean R says, where were the scissors? I don't I got fucking nothing for that. I don't even know what that's referring to, what that means. I honestly have fucking nothing. The next one from Sammy G. 1/2 star, a film about a plastic shark. That's a description of what it is, but that's not why you hate. Did you hate the movie because it was a plastic shark? I mean, also technically it was probably like rubber and all of that, if you want to get technical about it, Sammy. But I don't know. Was it just because it wasn't a real shark, or I don't know. I don't know how to help you out there, Sammy. But I'm sorry that you didn't like the plastic shark, I guess. All right, next we have a review. There's no username. It's from April 26, 2022. This movie could have been more accurate if all the people were seals, because they are great white sharks' meal of choice. Again, I understand people being upset like that this movie isn't an accurate portrayal of sharks, but like if you're getting your knowledge about the world from movies, maybe don't. I mean, movies are meant for entertainment and maybe to spark a conversation, but they're not meant to be educational in this sense. I mean, there's certainly movies and certain stories that, you know, definitely are. But if you're getting all of your knowledge, it's like, oh, well, this movie says it should be this way, or these things do this, then like, what are you doing with your life? Open up a fucking book if you're, oh my God. I don't understand why people get so mad about movies being like, oh, well, they portray them like this and like this. And I'm like, I get it. In 1975, they portrayed the sharks as evil, and then people took that as accuracy. What I'm saying is the people of 1975 are fucking stupid, because they're like, oh, I saw it in a movie, so this is how it actually is. I mean, could you imagine doing that today, being like, oh man, I was watching Minecraft, and then I went to go and do some mining, and it didn't work like that. And it's like, no fucking shit. It's a goddamn movie. It's meant to be fucking entertaining, and, you know, you just kind of sit back and, like, let it sink in and just enjoy it for what it is. Don't try to, like, take something out of it that you're not supposed to. Like, I don't get it. Next, we have a review from Daniel K. from February 15th, 2022. 1 star, Paul Rudd was not in this movie. You know what, Daniel? I can't argue with you there. He was not in the movie. And Paul Rudd's pretty fucking great. So, I mean, I can at least understand why you're giving it a 1 star. Maybe we can go back and superimpose Paul Rudd in there. Just have him hanging out in the background or something. Okay, so next we have some reviews from a website called Common Sense Media. And I guess this is for, like, parents and teachers to write reviews about movies. So, like, you can discuss on, like, what's appropriate for your kids or whatever. And so I'm like, there has to be something interesting on here. So let's get into the first one here. So our first review is from 2 stars, and this is organized from low to high. So the lowest it's been given is 2 stars. So there's no 1-star reviews. But it says, from users Sprinkles577345, parent of a 15-year-old. Sharks are not as violent as in this movie. There were a lot of suspenseful scenes, and we had to fast forward through most of it. Otherwise very boring and miscommunications of sharks. There was blood and gore, and the last fourth of the movie was hard to watch, so we turned it off. So too much violence and too much swearing is why they're rating it like this. The violence, I can sort of understand where you're coming from. I mean, we do get some, like, a little bit of gore with, like, the legs floating down or sinking down to the bottom, the severed head. Okay, I get that. Too much swearing, though. Like, is there really that much swearing for a 15-year-old? You're concerned about too much swearing for your 15-year-old? Listen, Sprinkles, let me give you a little bit of a wake-up call. Your 15-year-old is swearing way fucking more than anybody in this movie is or was ever. Like, let's just rip that Band-Aid off right now, okay? Next, we have one from Chuck Reed, who is an adult, as he's labeled himself. Good for you. Boring as dishwater. I don't know whether it's the music in the background or the colors, but there is something in this movie that bored me to death. The only good thing about this movie is the suspense. So you found the movie suspenseful, but you didn't like it. I mean, I'm having a hard time with this one. I don't understand, like, you don't like it because you found it boring, but you found it suspenseful. I'm like, how is a movie boring and suspenseful? I mean, if somebody can give me some examples down below of, like, what are bad movies but are also suspenseful. Because, I mean, if I don't enjoy a movie, I typically don't find it suspenseful. I'll just be like, oh, okay, I'm not suspensed by this fucking movie. But I honestly don't know what the fuck Chuck is talking about. Next, we have a review from Love 2, parent of 17-year-old. If you're reviewing movies for your 17-year-old fucking kid, you need to find a better fucking hobby. But it says, not so great. A really scary movie, and when it's not Scar, it's boring. So it's scary, but when it's not scary, it's boring. And they've also labeled it as having too much violence and too much sex. There's literally one scene in this whole fucking movie where they imply sex, and it's when Chrissy is skinny dipping at the very beginning of the movie. And even then, it's not that wild or crazy. I mean, maybe I'm just jaded by the amount of movies I've seen, but you're also reviewing a movie for your 17-year-old, so I'm not really going to take you too much at your word. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there. I think that's enough reviews for Jaws. Listen, overall, films are a very subjective thing. Not everybody's going to love everything. Not everybody's going to hate everything. But I think we can see from a lot of these reviews, I mean, we had, like, a lot of people who just apparently need, like, flashing lights or, you know, something happening every 2 goddamn seconds on the screen. Like, they need to be watching Transformers or some shit. Then there's other people who are just completely off their fucking rocker with how ridiculous some of these reviews are. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be kind of fun to read how people view this in a negative light. And I'm just like, I feel like a lot of these reviews are kind of grasping at straws. Or at the end of the day, it just wasn't a movie for them, which is perfectly fine. But you don't need to rip into a movie just because it's simply not for you. Like, if there's a movie that I watched I don't like, I'm like, hey, you know what? I didn't like that. It's not for me, but I can understand why other people like it. Like, again, I will use Barbie as an example. I was not a fan of that movie. I understand why people like it, but it wasn't for me, and I definitely have my issues with it. I will say, listen, this is a bit of a side rant. America Ferrera did not get enough credit for her acting in that movie. Like everything went to Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, which they were great. They were awesome. They were hilarious. But like America Ferrera did such an amazing job, and she has such a passionate speech in that movie that nobody ever fucking talks about. So I think that's like maybe just another part of why I have a problem with that. But anyways, bringing it back to Jaws, listen, it's been around for 50 years. A lot of people love it. Definitely some people hate it. I understand it. My reviews will always be 5 stars of this movie. I fucking love it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, how you view this movie. Do you think it's aged well? Do you agree with any of the reviews that I read, like in any shape, form, or capacity? Let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of weird, different episode this week. And if you want to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Bucket of Chum. Each month, I'm doing an exclusive episode over there. This month, we're going to be taking a look at Blades from 1988, which is a Jaws ripoff. And of course, for the rest of the year, we're still celebrating Jaws in all of its glory. So stay tuned for more. And you guys know you can find me on all the social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, all at Bucket of Chum or at Bucket of Chum Podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for even more Bucket of Chum.